Welcome back to part two of our Food for Thought segment, where we do the picks and analysis. This is for the NFL games today. It's the Saturday slate, the NHL hockey games for the games later on this evening, and the later games for the college basketball. So first off, we're going to go to the NFL slate. We'll do these two games. LA Chargers -3, the opening line at Houston, total being 44. Current line now is 41.5 and 2.5. I was back and forth on this game in terms of the side, back and forth. So I've come to the conclusion that Houston, to me, is a live dog at 2.5. I like the Texans here. C.J. Stroud is a big factor. He can surprise a lot of people in the postseason with his play. And Joe Mixon is another one. He's very good in the backfield, receiving yards, rushing. He's another factor. And Rico Downs, those three guys, I trust them as a cohesive unit offensively to give the Texans to have the Texans stay within the number of 2.5. They're a live home dog, very good home dog. Chargers, they have exceeded expectations. They've had a great season under first-year coach Harbaugh. They've done pretty well. But it's looking at their situation and their play. I just feel this time if I'm catching 2.5 with Houston, I do like them here. I do like them here at this particular. I do like them here a lot. So looking at Chargers' track record coming into the playoffs down the stretch, they haven't had any notable wins. I mean, the wins that they've had are against weaker opponents: Las Vegas, New England, a wounded Atlanta team that was kind of crumbling down the stretch after a good start. So these are the games in December that they won, that they had to win to get in the playoffs. They lose to Kansas City, can't beat the Chiefs. They lose to Tampa Bay, another team that I feel is going to go far in the playoffs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, yeah, they beat Denver. Denver's up and coming, but nothing notable to me, in my opinion. Whereas Houston, the Texans, they have beaten some top teams to me. They have looked pretty strong. Dallas, we know that Dallas hasn't played any. Dallas is trash, but they've held their own. Jacksonville, nothing there. Miami, they're crumbling. But I just say that to say that the Texans, I find they're more battle tested. Even though they lost some games in December down the stretch, they went the last 4 games or 5 games. They went 3-2. The last 4, 2-2. I just feel that Houston, they played a much more tougher schedule. The schedule is more tougher, in my opinion. So they're more battle tested. That's the reason why I give them the edge here over San Diego. San Diego, they beat a bunch of bottom feeders of the teams that I mentioned to you earlier. So they hadn't really played anybody of quality, in my opinion. They played teams of quality and they've lost to them. Tampa Bay, I mentioned, and Kansas City. So that's why I lean to Houston. Houston's more battle tested, in my opinion. I like them to cover the 2.5. I feel this is going to be a defensive battle, and that's in reflection of the number dropping to where it is at now, currently, which is 41.5. So I feel this is going to be a defensive battle. But I like to take him here in the first half. I like under 20.5 first half. I like that a lot. Houston said Chargers under 20.5. So I like those. Those are my 2 plays for that game. Next game, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Baltimore at home, open up 8.5. The total now, the spread now has gone to 9.5. I'm seeing some 10s on the board. I do see a few 10s coming up right now. This game's at 8 o'clock tonight. Houston game's at 4:30 this afternoon. Baltimore game's at 8 o'clock tonight. I see a few 10s. And there's a reason why this game is that the spread is so high. Pittsburgh's coming in limping. They're limping into the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak. They've lost 4 in a row. And that's not the way you want to begin the playoffs on a losing streak. So they played Baltimore before, and Baltimore has pretty much dominated them. They've controlled the style of play, and they've dominated these guys. So I do like, the only play in this game I like is Baltimore to cover. If you can get at 9.5, take the 9.5. I like Baltimore at the 9.5. I'm taking him there, and I like him here to cover. I don't have a say on the spread. I don't have a say on the total, which is now 44. You're seeing a lot of 44s. I don't have no opinion on that at all. I just like Baltimore 9.5. That's my take. I'm going that way. Baltimore 9.5. And I like the first half. First half, Baltimore's a very good first half team. I like him 6.5 first half Baltimore to cover the first half. I like that. That's my strong play in that game. In terms of the props for this game, props that I like. Props in this game. No major props that stand out in the Chargers game. The Pittsburgh game, I'm going to go with Rashad Bateman over 43.5 receiving yards. I like that one. Rashad Bateman. Since Zay Flowers is out of the lineup, I'm going to take Rashad Bateman over 43.5 receiving yards. I like that one a lot. I like that one quite a bit. That's my prop. And I like Lamar Jackson rushing yards. That's another prop I like, Lamar Jackson. If I can find it here. I'll give you the updated information for that. Lamar Jackson, I could look and see. I like his rushing yards. I believe that went up now. I'm seeing that here for Lamar Jackson. Let me get the updates. Bateman 43.5 receiving yards. Lamar Jackson rushing yards. $49.5. I like 49.5, over 49.5 Lamar Jackson rushing yards. I like that one. I wouldn't talk you off of Derrick Henry over 96.5 rushing yards. That's another good one. 3 good props right there. I'm taking Rashad Bateman 43.5 receiving yards and Lamar Jackson over 49.5 rushing yards. I like those two. Again, Derrick Henry 96.5 is another good one too. But I'm not that. That's the one I'm not choosing that one. Those are the 2 I like. The ones I just mentioned. So we're done with the football. Those are my picks for the NFL. In terms of the NHL, I gave you some of those plays earlier for the early games. Now, as for the rest of the games for the NHL, let's see here. Just bear with me for one moment. I look into that further for the NHL. Let's see. Just bear with me. I'm just going to look into this, the NHL hockey. Gotta look into that further. I believe I gave you Dead Sea. Just bear with me for a minute. I was checking something. Yes, so I gave Ottawa Pittsburgh over 6 goals. I believe I gave that out earlier. Ottawa Pittsburgh over 6 goals. I like that one a lot. That starts at 4 o'clock. The Penguins are one of the worst defensive teams in hockey. So, with their defense being pretty bad and Ottawa's scoring not too great, Ottawa has a chance to get some goals. Now, if you're not comfortable playing over 6 goals, you can do Pittsburgh team total over 3.5. That's something you can do as well. Pittsburgh team total over 3.5 is another good play. So that's something that I would do if you're not comfortable with playing over 6, because I know Ottawa's scoring has been that great. But that's something that I would definitely do for sure. Okay, so we're gonna go now to the other games, the later games tonight. So we see here Dallas and Montreal. This game opened up at 6 goals. Someplace you can get it at 5.5 if you shop around. So if you like 6, yeah, so that's you can do that. Head to head, 7-3, 5-4, 7-3 Dallas, 5-4-1 to the over last 10 games. Dallas 7-2-1 last 10. Over under Dallas 2-5-3 to the under. Montreal 8-2 last 10, 4-4-2 to the over for the over under. Montreal's won 3 in a row. 2 of the 3 wins have been on the road, and they've gone under 2 of the last 3 games. So they've been playing a lot of, they've been even. With the total, Dallas has been playing under. Yeah, this game here, I would lean. This would be a lean to the under 6 goals. I would lean to the under 6. Yeah, so I would lean under 6 because both teams are trending to the under. Their style of play is trending to the under. So I would definitely lean to the under. Dallas, Montreal. That's my take on that. It's not a strong play. I'm not going to bet this one, but if you wanted an opinion, I would give you under 6 goals for that one. Next game, Tampa versus New Jersey. Totals 6. Games in New Jersey, last 10 games. Head-to-head, 9-1 Tampa, 6-4 to the over. These two teams have already played twice. First game was in New Jersey, October 22nd. Total at that time was 7. It went over, 8-5 first game. Second game went under, November 16th. It was in Tampa Bay, 4-0. This game here is at 6 goals. Tampa by itself, last 10 games, 5-5, 2-7 to the under. Jersey, 4-5-1, last 10, 2-8 to the under. Jersey is not playing too well. They're 4-5-1 last 10. Last 5, 1 and last 6. 1-5 the last 6. They haven't been playing too well, New Jersey. Tampa Bay have won 2 in a row after losing 4 straight. This one is a pass. I would lean to the under. During New Jersey's losing streak, where they've won one out of, they've gone 1 for 5 in the last 6. They've gone 5 straight unders, New Jersey. 5 straight unders in a row. That was on the road. Now they're back at home. So I would lean to the under. This game would be an under. And plus, Tampa Bay has gone under this total 5 straight times. 5 straight unders for Tampa Bay. They've gone 3 straight unders on the road. I would lean to the under. I would take the under, despite the total being, the total's gone is 6-4 to the over right now. The last two have split the over under. I would go under 6 goals. So Tampa, New Jersey, under 6. If you can get under 6, take the under 6. I like that one. Under 6 there. Philly versus Anaheim. This one is the total 6. This game's in Philadelphia. And that Pittsburgh game, I think I mentioned the over 6, and then take Pittsburgh on the puck line. The puck line's plus 1.5. I mentioned that earlier today. That game's at 4:00. So puck line plus 1.5, and then do over 6 goals. That's my pick for that. So head to head, Anaheim Philadelphia, 7-3 Philadelphia, last 10 5-5 the over under. Anaheim last 10 against other teams, 5-4-1 last 10, 4-6 to the under. Philadelphia 3-6-1 last 10, 5-5 the over under. So Philadelphia, they have lost 4 straight games. On that 4-game losing streak, they have gone 1-3 to the under the last 4. Two of those games have been on the road, and then 2 at home. Anaheim, they've lost 2 straight games. Last 4, they have gone 4 straight unders. They've gone 4 straight unders the last 4. Actually, sorry, the last 4, 1-3 to the under. The last 5, 2-3 to the under. So Anaheim and Philadelphia, this game here, yeah, I would definitely lean to the under. I would take the under in this game. Yeah, I would lean to the under. Under 6 goals. Lean to the under. This is more like an under game to me. Anaheim, Philadelphia, under 6. Columbus, St. Louis. Totals at 6. St. Louis favored. This game here, head to head, 5-5, 7-2 to the over. They just played about a week ago in Columbus. This game was 6-4. So they've basically, it's been an over series. It's been an complete over series. This the last game went under. That was January 30th last year, but then they went over again. Yeah, this game I would take the over. No question about it. I don't see anything changing here. Columbus has been an over team. If you've been betting a lot of Columbus overs, you've made a lot of money. They've been gone over. Oh yes, they have gone over 5 straight times. So if you're betting Columbus for overs, you're making a lot of money off of Columbus overs. St. Louis, they've gone over 3 straight times. As a matter of fact, the last 10 meetings, they've gone 6-4 over the last 10 games, 5-4-1 the last 10. This is against other opposition. So definitely, I like the over here, Columbus versus St. Louis. I'm on the over. That's one of my favorite evening games, along with the Tampa Bay, New Jersey under 6, Columbus, St. Louis over 6. I like that one. If you get at 5.5, even better. Take the over 5.5. Next game, Colorado versus Winnipeg. This game's at 6. It's at 6. Head to head, 5-5, 7-2 to the over. This game. They've already played twice already. November 7th in Winnipeg, 1-0. It was under 6.5. Second game, December 31st. They played about 2 weeks ago. This game was in Colorado, and it was 5-2 Colorado, over 6.5 goals. Um, this one here now is sitting at 6. Colorado last 10, 8, 1 and 1. 4 and 6 to the under. Winnipeg last 10, 5, 3 and 2, 5 and 4 to the over. I have no opinion on this game. This game's a pass. Winnipeg, Colorado's a pass. No opinion on this game. Complete the pass. Next game, Vancouver, Toronto. Total 5.5. Vancouver, Toronto. Head to head, they did play. Yeah, 6 and 4 in Vancouver, 4 and 5 and 1 to the under. Vancouver last 10 against other opposition, 2, 4 and 4. Last 10, the over under 5 and 5. Excuse me. Toronto last 10, 6 and 4, and 6 and 4 to the over. Leafs had won 5 straight games, but they lost the last game to Carolina on the road. They're now back at home after they're back at home now. And during the win streak, they went 1 and 4 to the under. That was the 5-game win streak, 1 and 4 to the under. After 6 games, 2 and 4 to the under. Now they got Vancouver coming in. Vancouver have lost 4 games in a row, and then in that 4-game losing streak, they're averaging 2.5 goals. Yeah, they're averaging two and a half goals basically, and they've gone 1 last 4, 1 and 3 to the under. And the Leafs basically they're playing pretty much their style of play is under. They have an under style of play. I know they've gone over a little bit, but they're playing defensively. They're an under team, in my opinion. I have no strong opinion on this game. I would take Toronto on the money line to win the game, and I would lean to the under. But I'm not going to be betting this game. But that's my opinion. If you wanted my opinion on this game, this is what I would do. Just due to the circumstances, that's what I would do. Next game, Edmonton, Chicago. Total 6.5. They have played already. October 12th this year in Edmonton was 5-2, and it went over the total 6.5. Chicago won that game, but Edmonton is 7-3 head-to-head against Chicago. Last 10 games, 6 and 4 to the over. So the last 10 games for Edmonton against other opposition, 7-2 and 1, 3 and 7 to the under. 3 and 7 last 10 for Chicago, 6-2 and 2 to the over. Chicago flip-flopping wins and losses. Edmonton, they had won 4 straight, lost the last game to Pittsburgh. They were on a 3-game road trip. Edmonton playing some defense as well. They've been playing some good defense. Only 1 over, but they've been solid. Just based on the current form right now, I know the last 10 games have gone over, but it's based on the current form. Let me look here. Let me see. I would take the over 6.5 goals, Edmonton, Chicago. I think just based on the series history, I lean to the over here. Over 6. I'm not getting to the window in this game, but I would lean to I'd take the over in this game. For the side, I'm not sure about the side. Not sure about that, but I'll just take the over in that one. Next game's Washington, Nashville. The total's over 6. 6 and 4 the last 10 games between these two teams. 4 and 6 to the under. They did play November early this year in Washington. Washington won 3-2 and it stayed under the total. The last 6 meetings have gone under. Yeah, the last 6 meetings have gone under in this series. So I would definitely stick to the trend and keep the under. I'd still bet the under. Washington and Nashville. Yeah, I would lean to the under. If you can get at 6, bet it under 6. If you can get 5.5, take the over. But I'm not going to be betting this one. But I would lean to the under. That's my take on that. But shop around for 6 if you can get the 6. So you can get the under there. Next game, Islanders at Utah. Total's over 6. They played once this year, October 10th this year, 5-4. And went over the total, over 6. Islanders, last 10, 4-6, 5-5. Islanders have won 2 straight games. Utah, 3-5-1-1 last 10, 3-7 to the under. Utah's gone 3 straight unders. Utah's at home. Islanders 5-5. I know the first game went over. I think the second game is going to be a regression, in my opinion. Let me look at that. I'm going to pass on this game. This game, I have mixed emotions about, mixed feelings about this game, so I'm going to pass. This one's going to be a pass. No opinion on this game. Next game, LA Calgary. Again, head-to-head 6-4, 6-4 to the over. Calgary having the edge in this series. Last 10 for both teams, 3-7 to the under. Calgary 4-6 to the under. They did play this year in November. It went 3-1, and I don't see that changing. I see this game going under the total, under 5.5 goals. Again, I don't see that changing at all. I like the under 5.5. Calgary, LA. I like the under. I like that one. And then Minnesota and San Jose. This game is over 6. The total 6. Head-to-head 7-3. Minnesota has the edge. 7-3 the total over. They have played once November 7th in San Jose and went over the total 5-2 and went over 6 goals. Minnesota in general 6-4 last 10, 5-5. Minnesota had won 4 straight games, lost the last game at home to Colorado. But they have been putting up goals. Let's see. They're 4-4. Last 5 games, 4-1 to the over. So they have been scoring goals on Minnesota. Really been putting up a lot of goals. San Jose has been the opposite, 2-7-1. Last 10, 2-8 to the under. San Jose's lost 2 straight. They've gone under 6 straight times, San Jose. 6 unders in a row. Now you got Minnesota here. 6 unders in a row. And Minnesota. I would look at it. Minnesota's been putting up a lot of goals. I look at a team total over 3.5 Minnesota. Over 3.5 goals Minnesota for the team total. I would look at that. That's my play on that one. Because I don't trust San Jose to pull their weight. I mean, they'd be lucky if they scored 2 goals to help this game go over the total. So I would take Team total over 3.5 Minnesota. If you can get that, I would take that number. That's what I would do for that game. Over 3.5 goals for Minnesota. That's the team total. No play on the side. I like that. Jersey, the Rangers versus Vegas. This is the last game on the board. 7-3 last 10 games. Vegas has owned the series. 3-4-3 to the under. Rangers last 10, 4-5-1, 5-5 the total. They've been flip-flopping wins and been going back and forth, back and forth. Vegas 8-2 last 10, 3-7 to the under. Vegas had won 3 straight games, lost to the Islanders 4-0. And Vegas has gone over 3 straight times, 3 in a row. So I would take this game here, Rangers versus Vegas. I like the under. Under is 6.5. So I like the under in this game, just based on the head-to-head and based on Vegas's recent play. They're playing defensive hockey, so I like the under 6.5 goals. And the Rangers have been playing that way themselves. I know they've gotten a lot of overs the last 3, but they've gone under in the last game. So I like the under. Under 6.5 goals for me. Rangers versus Vegas. I think Vegas will dictate the pace at home. They always dictate the pace on their home ice, which therefore would be an under, a defensive battle, and will stay under the 6.5 goals. I like that one a lot. So I like that play for the NHL. Those are my picks for the NHL. College basketball. For the games later on tonight for college, I like Houston. Let's look at the opening on that one first. I do like some games tonight. I'm just going to give you the games that I like tonight for college. Like I said, I do like a lot of games here. We're gonna get to the we're gonna do the Houston K-State game. Houston K-State. We're gonna get to that game. A lot of college basketball games today. A lot of games. I'm trying to find the Houston K-State game. Just bear with me for one moment. I'm trying to find this game. Okay, here we are. So Houston's open 11.5, total 129.5. Right now, it's gone down to 10.5. We're seeing some 10.5s right now. 11.5. We're seeing some 10.5s coming up on the board. But I like the total in this game. I like under 128.5. It's even gone on to 127.5. So I like the under. K-State have played 5 straight unders in a row. And Houston, when they're double-digit favorites in this kind of scenario, they tend to play to the under. They play defensive basketball, and it tends to go under the total. So they say defense carries itself on the road. So I think they'll play that style of defense on the road in Kansas against Kansas State, and this will stay under the 128.5. If you can get at 127, take it at 127. I like that one a lot. That's my play for in the evening. Tennessee at Texas. This one here. Open up at minus 4.5. Under 137 now. I apologize. Sorry. Minus 4, 132.5. That was the opening number. Right now, we're looking at, in this game, it's still 4.5. We're seeing some fours, and we're seeing a five. Five is starting to pop up now a little bit. And we're seeing the total at 137.5. That's the consensus. So I like the under in this game. I like the under in this game a lot. I think this is going to be a defensive battle between these two teams. Texas's offense has fallen flat against some of the better teams on the schedule. They scored 65 against UConn, 60 against Texas A&M. So the offense is not really gelling. It's not gelling at a high rate. That's Texas. So, and the thing is, the pace of this game will be at a smaller pace. Tennessee ranks 308th in tempo, while Texas is 213th in tempo. That's according to KenPom, the KenPom ratings. So in terms of the pace of the game, in terms of what I mentioned to you earlier, I like the under in this game. Under 137.5. It's see climbing down to 136. So if you can get either one, I'd take the under. That's your best bet. That's the best one for me. This one here, Florida, Arkansas. I like first half Florida. Let me get to the opening number in this game. Then I'll just explain all that. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find it. Florida opened up at 5, total 154.5. Now we're seeing 4.5, and now the total is 158.5. That's the consensus. So I like the first half 2.5. I think Florida will get off to a great start in this game. I like them here as they're a good first half team, and they boast the third best first half scoring margin in the country at 13.3 points per game. That's the reason why I like the first half. They're a fast starting team. Right now, you see you can get them at 1.5 as well. First half 1.5. So you can get the 1.5. That's even better. So shop around for the first half number. I got 2.5, but if you can get 1.5, that's even better for you. I would take Florida 1.5 at Arkansas. I think they'll get off to a great start here. Those are my picks for the college basketball. That's what I like. I like those games. I don't see anything else here. So that pretty much wraps it up for the latter games this evening that I like. Again, I'll be back tomorrow to give you my other plays for college basketball, the NFL, and hockey. Until then, cash those tickets. Stay true to yourself. Good luck to you. Believe in yourself. Stay blessed. Peace.